just concluded day one of the Peak Experience Conference. Wrapping things up, about to head back to the hotel. I'm going to share with you guys about the content. So before I actually got on the bike, I wanted to show you guys this. I don't even know if you're able to see it right now, but these are my X-Strike Dainese gloves. They're pretty awesome gloves. It's like they're really geared for mild, warm temps. For the summertime, they're not thoroughly awesome, and they don't make a great winter glove, but they're good for spring and fall. One of the bummers about this glove is that it doesn't come with a touch tech finger, so I modded this one. It's got this upgrade. Yeah, that's actually the result of pretty early on in the life of these gloves. My exhaust was rattling, and I had reached down to get at the clip that was basically dangling, and the gloves look worse for the wear, but they kept my finger from getting burnt off, so that's pretty cool. A little sunset action for this outing. Like baby stepping this bike out. I totally meant to back it in. It's actually a pretty decent incline here. Sweet. Oh, that was tough. Good workout. So one of the awesome things about Buffini and Company and the way that they put together materials for these conferences is oftentimes Brian, he's the owner of the company, he'll use examples in movies and in pop culture to kind of illustrate these business lessons. And the theme of this year's conference is finding your golden ticket. So he goes through the movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and the talk is based off of the movie and insights that can be gleaned from the personalities in the movie. So day one, we got a lot into team building, which is really awesome. But kind of to open up the day, we just started talking about the characters in the movie, and this concept that, so the hero of the movie is Charlie, and then you have basically 4 antagonists, but the reality is Charlie really represents us all, and the 4 antagonists represent parts of our own personalities that, left unchecked, lead pretty much to disaster. So in analyzing the character of Charlie, what's awesome about Charlie, what drove Charlie to ultimately to win in the end, was the fact that he was driven by hope. Not a false hope, but he was driven by hope and positivity. The 4 antagonists in the movie, if you'll remember, were Augustus, and not necessarily antagonists to Charlie, but they're the characters that allowed their own flaws to keep them from success, from winning the lifetime supply of chocolate, which in a business context, that's winning, that's success, whatever that looks like to you. So, commissions earned, lifetime net savings, earnings, that type of thing. You can kind of take it from that perspective. So 4 antagonists to your success, basically, as characterized by these individuals in the movie. The first being, like I mentioned, Augustus. You have Veruca. You've got Mike Teavee, and you've got Violet. So looking at Augustus, and what ultimately was his demise was his lack of self-control and being a slave to his insatiable appetite. In business, in life, in order to experience success, really like the foundations, one of the fundamental elements to achieving success is the ability to put off immediate gratification for long-term gain. And the ticket in that is oftentimes starting to do that with small steps. So large battles can be won by incremental, smaller victories. If you're a slave to your own appetite and you can't break out of this instant gratification cycle, then you're not going to make good decisions when it comes time to lead your business or to be successful in whatever venture you're trying to go out and tackle. The character after that we talked about for a bit was Veruca. And if you'll remember Veruca, she was the "I want it now" character. It's just this bratty, just instant me character. Veruca was very entitled. She thought that everything was hers, everything she deserved everything. She deserved it when she wanted it, how she wanted it. There's lots of podcasts and web shows, talks about millennials and about younger generations, how entitled they are. And one of the things Brian kind of talked about is, sure, a lot of that's true, but the reality is each generation learns some from the generation before it. So definitely not shirking responsibility either way from the older or younger generations, people out there trying to experience success. But speaking of that entitlement issue, if you're pointing fingers and saying that generation or that person or someone that I know is entitled, but you're unable to see it in yourself, a good way to test it, a good way to figure out if you have entitlement issues is to listen to what you talk about and to listen to what you complain about specifically. If there's something that you're always complaining about, that is the indicator as to what you feel like you're entitled to. The first time I heard Brian talk on that subject, it was funny because I walked out of the conference. It had moved to a new venue, and the venue was a bit smaller, and so there were all these kind of grumblings of, oh well, this venue it's nowhere near as large as it should be, and I need more space. And all the attendees started oh wait a second, we're not, maybe that's a sign that I feel like I'm entitled to have this massive cavernous space to attend this conference at. I don't know. Anyway, that was a really good point. The third character in the movie, the antagonist, was Mike Teavee. And Mike Teavee was kind of this know-it-all, act before he thinks, consumed by distraction character that can easily be anybody that is in an environment. Well, we're all in an environment where we're bombarded by distraction via electronic devices, social media, and so on and so forth. The whole know-it-all bit, I kind of actually resonated with that. One of the bullet points that we went over was that Mike acted before he knew all the information. Like, if you remember with the movie, you'll know that he thought he knew everything about TV and kind of spouted off about that, and then jumped into the teleporter and made himself small without realizing that it was not reversible and that he couldn't go back. And so the basically the antidote to that negative part of our personality would be to seek to be a humble student, and I certainly seek that. I know that I don't know everything, and the only way to truly grow in knowledge is to submit to that fact. The fourth character that we talked about was Violet, and if you remember, Violet was the gum chewing, go-getter, I want to break every record girl that ended up eating the gum that she wasn't supposed to eat and turning into a blueberry. Ryan rolled this clip of her talking, and she had just found the golden ticket, and they were interviewing her about the ticket, and she yanked the microphone away, and she talked about the world record that she set, and she said, well, I only started eating chocolate because I wanted to find the ticket, but now I'm back on gum, and started kind of rubbing it in the face of her best friend that she had broken her record, and just pretty obnoxious. And we talked about how one of the things that should be our goal as business owners, as entrepreneurs, is to not, we're not looking to win at all costs. That's certainly not the end game. Should we be competitive? Yes. Is having a healthy drive and ambition a good thing? Yes. But what do you get by winning the world if you lose your soul? The antidote for that personality fault would be seeking to be salt, and salt in kind of in the biblical sense, that we seek to be characters and people that when other people have interactions with us, that they walk away with a good taste in their mouth, that they walk away instead of full of bitterness, instead of this negative feeling, that they get to experience goodness, positivity from you, hopefully from me. And that was just an amazing introspective lesson for today. So I'm gonna wrap this video with this beautiful church scenery as we kind of cruise back to the hotel, end of the day here in San Diego. I've got a lot to work through on this material, man. It's really awesome. I'm going to be rolling out more kind of breakdown of some of the topics that we're going over in this Find Your Golden Ticket vlog segment. If you like content like this, like the video, let me know about it, man. I'd sure love to hear from you. I'd love to know what kind of business you're into, what kind of ventures you're into, and I'd love for you to know that my intent for this vlog and for this channel at all is to bring you the good stuff. I've been blessed in my life to have so many awesome experiences, hear so many awesome speakers in my quest for personal growth and development. And it's been so awesome, these years that I've been writing, to have this time to contemplate and think about all the materials that I'm constantly, getting and hearing and learning about. So I want to share this stuff with you guys. So anyway, click, like, subscribe, stay in touch.